one of those days when you don't want to wake up. Everything is stuck, everybody sucks. Everything don't ride, but you want to justify. Ripping cows head off, no human contact. The interact, the left-hand contract. Best bet is the way away, motherfucker. It's just one of those days. It's all about the he said.
Is that really Cartman?
I don't think that's him, but
I mean, he did a pretty good job. Sounds just like him. That's funny.
What's up,
What's
fellas?
going on, boys? How you doing tonight?
What's up? What's the word?
You know, stuff. It's been a pretty crazy week for us from the last podcast to now, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
a lot of stuff moving.
A lot of teams.
Yeah, man. So we got the opportunity to go hang out once more at the Veterans versus Celebrity softball game. I think this year was a lot different than last year. I think those guys over at the TVA, they got it. They've kind of got it figured out, moving it in the right direction, man. Things projecting up.
Yeah,
It was a really good time.
I had a blast, man. I don't know about you, Ty. I think you did. I had a good time, man. I feel like the access we had was a lot. The improvement. It was a lot better.
Yeah.
Because
to be
we
able to
didn't
get all those celebrities and all the veterans in there, and to be able to watch, Justin Verlander pitch a little bit for his rehab assignment, and then, go out in the outfield, meet all the celebrities, talk to all the veterans, take pictures, and have that camaraderie, and then walk out on the field and be able to play on Constellation Field, which is a beautiful AAA, venue for the Sugarland. I don't even know what their last name. What is
Space Cowboys?
Space Cowboys. Yeah.
Cowboys.
So, a AAA affiliate of the Houston Astros, I thought it was cool just to be a part of and to be able to see all those. What's up, Byron Brown?
Yeah.
Be able to see all the interaction with the celebrities and veterans and see the smiles and the stories. Like, I loved hearing all those stories of all the different veterans. So that's what was like real fulfilling for me, is to be able to talk to somebody.
Super cool. They let a veteran's daughter played in the game
Yep.
that went to boot camp on Monday.
Yeah, shoot that the day after the game.
Boy, I'm going to tell you what. If her recruiter knew that she was playing in that game, he'd been in the stands talking about she needs to walk to first base. Don't let her run.
No,
You can't even pitch the ball to her. She gets to bowl it into the infield and run, okay?
Right.
And then she's going to do a slow, walker walk down the baseline. We can't afford none of that. But it
Big
was cool.
shout out to Alan Porter for getting that whole event put together, and then all the coverage they had of it. But yeah, when I heard that the first time, I was thinking, well, what if she gets hurt? And they're like, well, she'll be fine.
Yeah.
I've seen her. You seen her
That's
dad?
the old person in me that was worried. When I was 20, I'd be like, yeah, let's do that. But
The
I'm
recruiter
49
in me
years
was
old.
like, what did you just say? She's going to go do what?
You guys missing the point. You seen her dad though, because her dad was there.
Yeah.
He's a Marine, so no matter what, she was going.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big problem. So, the big picture was, I'm pretty sure that the recruiter met her dad several times. And
For sure.
yeah, so Pops had it under control. He wasn't going to let nothing happen to his daughter. I went to go talk to her. He was like, what do you want with my daughters? I'm like, I'm just coming over, man. I'm just a podcast guy. Coming over to say hi. And, that's all I'm doing. Nothing else.
Journalism, sir. Journalism. We're doing journalism over here.
I tell you what, though, the same T-shirt that we have on the Got Your Six website that Scott's wearing right now, it's got our pictures all over the front of it.
Damn.
Everybody was like, wait, that's you guys? Like, everybody came up and talked to me about
I
that
could never
T-shirt.
figure out which one I am, though. I don't know. It was so hard.
You were the light-skinned dude on the far left side as I'm looking at it with the bullhorn. That's what I told everybody.
Yeah. What's up, Willis?
You're the very good-looking one.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you need some shirts, check out in the banner across the bottom of the screen, sameflagsameoath.com. You can get some of our gear. You can get the one that Scott has on, and then there's all kinds of other stuff on there.
There it is.
Going out,
Yeah.
Same Flag, Same Oath, buy some of that stuff. You don't need your money. They need your money.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I will tell you what, though. I'm going to tell you guys something that's hot off the press for Got Your Six right now that we just started working on, and Becky actually got it finalized today. So in our area here in Katy, close to where I live, there's a whole bunch of veterans that are buried in cemeteries, and their headstones don't give them any credit for the service to their country and earning the right for people to know who helped protect their freedom. And so there's an American Legion post in Katy that's doing this program called Headstones for Heroes. They're looking for donations, and they're trying to get 16 headstones made up for these veterans to be able to put into the cemetery so that we can celebrate their service. And people, when they see that in there, they can thank them for the freedoms they have. And so we have at Got Your Six an inventory of shirts that we have some extra ones that are there that we have decided that we're going to put on the website. We're going to sell them. I believe they're going to be about $10. And every bit of that $10 that you buy that T-shirt with is going to go to that American Legion so that we can help put these headstones out for these veterans to celebrate them and honor them and, thank them for everything that they did. So be on the lookout for that in the next couple of days. It's going to hit. And then as soon as it goes up there, I would just ask that everybody, if you want to support something, support our veterans that, earn the right to serve our country and give us the freedom that we have. And that's what we're trying to do with that program. So that's like brand new. It just happened today.
Fresh off.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Every time I talk to you, Matt, there is something cool that you are doing for either the first responder community or the military veteran community in Houston, Texas. I mean, and regionally, more so just Houston, Texas. But I'm super proud of you, brother. Hey, I want to give a shout out here to David Wallace, Hardcore Patriots Motorcycle Association, tuning in for the first time. Hey, Mr. Wallace, thank you very much for
Mr. Wallace.
in. Yeah. I actually ride with the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association.
Looks like we got David Scott Moreland from the same one. He's in there too.
What up, David Scott Moreland?
There we go.
Glad to have you guys aboard.
So I believe we're gonna go out for there. These guys with the Hardcore Patriots Motorcycle Association, I actually met these dudes at a crawfish boil.
Oh, is that where it was? See,
Well, it wasn't this year, was it?
No, it was last Saturday, the day before the game. The rodeo puts on a crawfish boil. David Wallace was over there. He was throwing down and cooking crawfish and make sure everybody got to eat. And we're just sitting there, and he sees my shirt. First off, I was wearing my chief shirt that we just made with Got Your Six, and then I've got, the tattoo on the arm with the anchor. And he's like, "Oh, you're in the Navy." We're talking, and then other people hear us talking, and the next thing you know, we got 4 people around there, and we're all laughing, joking, having a great time, and just talking shit the way veterans do. And it's just amazing that no matter where you go, no matter what you do.
Yep.
There's always veterans around, and we just find each other. We're like magnets. Get into that room, and then you start to tell the stories, and you see, sometimes a different laugh or a different outlook. It was cool to be around it. It was awesome.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh yeah, I want to give a shout out too to my man, Bubba Wesley, because he's one of my favorites that was there at the game. So I want to give a shout out to my man, Bubba Wesley, in the building. He was there. The dude is awesome. His wife is awesome. His family's awesome. Every veteran that played, every celebrity that came out to support, I want to especially thank you for being so kind to us, making us feel at home, and allowing us to do what we do on you guys' platform, on you guys' day. It was special for all of us. So just want to personally say thank you to all you guys. Yes, sir.
Good times, good times. That's the way it goes. And we were all together in the same place. We seem to do that once a year for this TVAA thing. It was good. Al was on the sideline. He was kicking balls with his boots and saving line drives and running around and talking to everybody in the stadium. It was a good time.
Now, speaking of Al, I want you guys to keep the thought of Al in your thoughts and prayers. Kind of going through something now. If I'm correct, probably loss of close friend or someone in the family, but he's dealing with a little bit of grieving right now. So I know he's here with us in spirit, he's here with us in mind, but just wanted to let you guys know, man, and keep him in your thoughts and prayers. It's always important to do that when we go through things because we need that. Sometimes that's all that we can use to get us through is just knowing that you have support, knowing that they have prayers out there and those thoughts are out there, and knowing that he'll get through it. So shout out to my man, Al Hero.
Yep.
But I didn't think I did the introduction. This is a Triple Threat podcast. I'm your man, DJ World TV, your man, Matt Johnson, and your man, Ty Cobb is in the building. And guess who else is in the building? All of you guys are in the building. All of you guys who tap in as soon as it's time. You guys are on time all the time. I want to say thank you. I appreciate you and welcome into another episode of the Triple Threat Vet podcast. I just want to give a shout out to you guys because you guys keep us going and we love you. So if you're here, if you're listening, wherever it is, YouTube, if it's Twitch, if it's here on Facebook, wherever you are, I want to give a special shout out to you and say thank you for supporting us and what we do. And we are here because of you. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, I mean, it's another week. it's another time to just let everybody that supports and listens to us get to know an amazing story from another amazing individual. So, I mean, I think that's a good segue there, DJ Royalty, to come in and talk about our guest that's coming on. Ty, if you want to do the honors, you want to talk a little bit about him real quick, then we'll bring him on and get started.
Yeah, so James Thornton is a gentleman that we met through David Willis's podcast, Home for Us Sit Rep. So we've actually spoken with him a couple times. We know a little bit of his story, but on purpose, all four of us have not asked him to give us any notes about this story because he's about to tell you about his United States Army veteran deployment experience in Mogadishu, Somalia. So a lot of you have heard all kinds of stories about what went down in Mogadishu. This man was there, and he's going to wax poetic on his story. So we're looking forward to it. Let's welcome James Thornton, United States Army veteran.
In the building.
The
Soggy beaver and all.
What's up, guys?
What's
How
going
you
on?
doing tonight, sir?
Hey, first things first. Go Army, beat Navy.
Oh,
Here we
Yeah.
go.
Go Army, beat Navy. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
hey, look, Ty's even happier today because you got an even split. It's a fair fight today. It's a fair fight.
Well, I mean, like us Army guys, we talk intel behind y'all's Navy guys' back. So I did tell him, like, normally it takes 3 Navy guys to keep one Army guy in check. With him being here, we have the advantage.
All right.
Just don't even start. You guys can't handle all this.
There you go. There you go. There
I'll
you
bring
go.
the smoke, man. I'm here to tell you, I'll bring the smoke.
Well, that's what we live for on Thursday nights is bringing the smoke. To be honest with you, that's what we like. That's what
We want it all.
we want to see it, and everybody that tunes in to listen to us wants to see the smoke too. To be honest with you, so I'm
know.
excited to hear your story because, like Ty said, like we've never really gotten into it with you. Like we've never really asked, and I think
We've talked
purposely
about a
for us-
million other things, but not that.
Yeah, but purposely for us was to keep it here and coming on to this platform, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, try that where? There you go. Mr. Hero is in the building.
Al Hero, what's going on, buddy?
Chilling, bro.
Hey, that's a nice sign you got behind you.
Oh, hold on. Oh, it's the only thing on my wall. So the rest of my office is still in fucking disarray. Like it's bad. Like just look how this just looks like shit. Look at this. I got shit every fucking where. Still got shit on the fucking not hung up. Just got shit stacked everywhere.
Oh, it looks like you're going to the beach later, though. This should be fun.
Hey, Al, I'll see you one T-shirt and raise you one.
See,
Sweet.
you see what happened here, right? You guys start talking about how the Army was going to override the Navy, and then the big Navy pops in. That's what we do all the time. So
It's
I'm
only
still
three
not
of you.
worried. I'm not worried.
Still only 3 of you.
Only.
And I represent for the great state of Texas.
That's right. You were basically a Texan this for the last 4 days.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Yeah.
how you doing, brother?
Hanging in there. Good.
There you go. Well,
Good.
thank you for coming on. We're glad to see your
Did you get my text?
ass-eating
That's
face. I
why
guess.
I'm here. That's why I'm here, because somebody fucking
You get my text?
Yeah, somebody pulled my fucking card. somebody gut punched me. Somebody gut punched me over text message. So
Hey, it's better to go through this shit together. We've all lost people, and we're going to be here for each other. And you're strong enough to handle this shit
Hell yeah.
in front of everybody, God and everybody.
yeah,
There you
man, fucking apparently.
I have no doubt. All right, James, I'm sorry, brother.
Oh, you're fine, man. You're fine. Look, a lot of things that I've learned in 53 years on this earth. Life comes first. No
Yep.
matter what we have planned, no matter what we decide we want to do tomorrow, life comes first.
Yeah.
And when brothers are down. That's life. Life comes first.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. So I do want to kind of get right into it here with you, James. So tell us a little bit before you get into the story of it, where you're from and what made you initially decide that a career in the Army or service in the Army was something that you wanted to do.
Okay. I was born in Claremont, Kentucky. Claremont, Kentucky is the home of Jim Beams. The house that I was born at, you could probably hit one of the warehouses with a rock if you chucked it good enough. And I was raised in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, just south of Louisville. Um, I was an asshole. I ain't gonna lie. I was an ass, man. I mean, I grew up and it was rough. It was really, really rough. And then right after we kicked the shit out of Iran in that like 24-hour time frame. Anyway, my younger brother and I decided, hey, we're not doing nothing. Let's go in the Army. So he became a Lance crew member, and I made the recruiter extremely freaking happy. I walked in and said, look, dude, I just want to be in the infantry. That's what I want to do. I was almost 300 freaking pounds at the time, and he's like, yeah, okay. But you remember back in those days, recruiter didn't give a damn. He just had a name on, a signature, and he's got his number. So anyway, yeah, I went into basic training as a big old boy. I remember my first meal in basic training. When I went through the line, I had a little piece of cake sitting on a plate, sitting on my tray. So I walked through the line like everybody else. I go sit down at the table, and man, I'm scarfing this food down, and this drill sergeant walks up and he said, hey, fat ass, you really think you ought to need that piece of cake? No, drill sergeant. He said, good, give it to that little skinny son of a bitch over there. Man, I never grabbed another piece of cake. No.
I'm just wondering, they give y'all cake in boot camp in the Army?
We didn't get that shit till like the last week.
Yeah.
No, they were like, next one in line. There you go. Go eat some more.
That's a normal day on the ship. So, we get a little go from the beginning. So anyway, but yeah, I joined, went to Fort Benning, in Georgia.
Yeah, I know right where that's at. I grew up down there.
In freaking the latter part of spring, early July, as a fat boy learning to run, learning all of this crap. Now, I had 4 years ROTC, so I knew the basic as far as, my general orders and how to march and how to salute and all that bullshit. But this fat boy didn't run. I didn't run for nothing. Well, I ran then, and see, not only did I go in the infantry, I went in what they call the light infantry. And these son of a bitches hump. They get a huge rucksack. They get all they shit. They get dropped 30 miles out, and they say, we'll see you when you get there. Hell, your dogs are barking bad when they get there. Bad. We used to do a 25-mile road march once a month just so we can do it.
Yeah, just because it's fun. Got to make sure we get all the fun stuff in.
Fun was not the word we've used, but anyway. The best part about where we were stationed in Fort Drum in upstate New York, if you went to Canada, codeine is legal in Canada. You could buy it on the shelf right next to the aspirin. So back then, we really didn't have a border problem, so we always partied in Ontario anyway, because it was closer than Syracuse. So we'd go up there, spend the weekend in Ontario, come back. Hell, there'd be 20, 25 bottles of codeine laying around the barracks. So, you pop you a couple before you take off on a 25-miler. You get back in, you pop a couple more. You can tell which guys were doing codeine because them fuckers were at the bar that night. Everybody else was in the barracks with their feet propped up. Where
There
there's
you
a will,
go.
there's a way.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I did some time up in Fort Drum. We went down to that big-ass hurricane that hit Homestead, Florida, and Miami.
Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew, the $6 billion blowjob. We did a lot of weird shit. And then I was on staff duty one night, and the phone rang, and it was the battalion. I was on company, and the battalion guy called me and said, go ahead and initiate your alert roster. Yeah, okay. He said, no, seriously, go ahead and initiate. And it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I said, look, man, all bullshitting aside, if I call this fucking captain at 2 o'clock in the morning and you're bullshitting, we're both going to have our asses. He said, no, this is legit. So, several hours into it, everybody's getting your shit. And it really didn't sink in until you come downstairs and there's MPs at all of the doors, and all of the doors are chained except for one. And that's the one that everybody's going to the back, going out to the quad area if you're ready to get on the buses. Something's about to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then we found out that we were being sent over to Somalia because the UN and the Red Cross folks were being basically beat up. Some were killed. You know, the warlords and their little henchmen would come in there and just take the food that was sent over there for the starving folks. So we went over there as a quick reaction force. Our job, pretty much, we lived inside the university, and we didn't leave unless somebody was having a bad day, and it wasn't going to be us. So, you know, when the warlords and the knuckleheads started their crap with the UN and the Red Cross folks, then we went out there and did what we had to do. And then it was interesting, you know, for folks that haven't, if you don't know where Mogadishu, Somalia is, it is right there on the freaking equator. Right there. You don't know hot until you're sitting in a wooden porta potty at 3 o'clock in the afternoon trying to do your business, and it's 6,000 degrees in there. I mean, literally, it is hot. It is so hot over there during the day. When we got selected to do guard duty at night, we would put jackets on and sit behind the generator so that warm air would blow on us because the temperature would drop that much. And it was probably only about 70, mid 70 at night. But the temperature dropped that much. You were freezing your ass off over there. And then you had that wind coming in off the ocean. Oof, Lord have mercy. But the funny thing about Fort Drum, it's upstate New York. It's cold weather training. We never deployed anywhere cold. Cuba.
Do you think they do that on purpose?
They do. We do jungle warfare training the same way. We train, go to JWTC, do all this jungle warfare training, and then we deploy to Iraq, right? But I do know something about hot porta potties, James. I'll tell you what. You think doing your business is bad? Try masturbating in one of them bad boys. It sucks, dude. It's rough. I mean, it is the hardest thing in Iraq when you were in a porta john, buddy. I'm telling you. Like, you would know at nighttime because they look like Christmas lights because everybody had their little Haji DVD players, and that shit would be glowing. Like a whole, look for the one that's not glowing, like, there's my baby right there. You go in there, you know, hey, it's tough.
I'm with you there, brother. We used to have competitions who can get in and out of it the quickest. I mean, there was some.
Hey, you better have a doc standing by because somebody may not make it. Somebody may not make it, bro. You have to pull them out and do some resuscitation, give them some little IV fluids.
Hey, what happens across the pond stays across the pond, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
I mean, when the camels are starting to look good,
You've been gone too long.
you've been going way too long.
Yeah. That's crazy. So I know that for the service that you had, and we've talked in the past, tell us, I mean, going a little bit about while you were over there, talk about some of the things, you know, that you share with people. You do a lot of things in the community now, and you do a lot of talks. Kind of get into a little bit about the time that you were over there and kind of some of the things that you talk with others about, because I think it would be, you know, important for people that are on our podcast that have never heard you to hear some of the things that you talk with them about, the things that you've gone through, and then, you know, ultimately the success story of coming out on the other side of that.
Well, the quote unquote success story is it's not a success story. It's what we consider a Pyrrhic victory, and I use that in my talks when I go out. But a Pyrrhic victory, so to speak, is when the toll on the victor is so intense, so much, it doesn't feel like winning. So that's what happened. Did we accomplish the mission? Yes. Did we get our boys out of there? Yes. Was it a victory? No. We lost 18 boys that night. The next morning, we're all at the Pakistani stadium, and they had several of us go down, and we were helping pull the dead soldiers off the top of the APCs. And I told my mom, I said, you know, that That first boy I pulled down off the side, the whole side of that white Malaysian APC turned red. And the only thing I could think of at that time is I know that boy's dead before his mama. I know he's dead before his mama. So it sets in. It really, really sets in. And it wakes you up, or it tries to wake you up. If it doesn't wake you up, it puts your brain in such a turmoil that it takes many, many years, and some folks never able to work through it. I mean, I'm living proof of it, and I still fight it every day. There's just so many things that we saw, things that we done that, oh God, I mean, are we, you got to remember this country was in a civil war for like 12 or 13 years when we got there. It was nothing for them to see folks shooting. You know, you ride down the road and this house has food. The house next door has weapons. Well, tomorrow, the house that has weapons now has weapons and food. To hell with your family. And that's the way it was. And we had, you know, we had to go over and try to help right or wrong from folks that didn't care if they were right or wrong. When the Civil War kicked off, a lot of the educated, powerful people from that country left. You know, they went to Kenya. They went everywhere. They got the hell out. So, you know, I don't know how to say it. You know, Trump said it best. It's a shithole. It was a shithole. These folks did not care. I don't care that you're an American soldier and you're over here trying to help us. I don't care. You ride down the road, I'm going to step out from behind this building. I'm going to take a couple pop shots at you. Well, it didn't take them long to figure out when they took pop shots at us. We didn't keep going. We stopped and we returned fire. It got ugly. It was. And, you know, it makes you realize when you sit here and you see these folks bashing the United States and they say some of the dumbest shit you've ever heard in your life, and you're like, have you ever been out of the United States? Oh, wait. Have you even been out of the county that your ass lives in? If you haven't left our country and gone and seen another country, especially a third world country, man, you wouldn't talk about our country ever again. I tell folks all the time, I love my country. I'm 53. I'll die for it today. I hate my government, both sides, because what they stand for is just gone to hell. But I love my country. I'll die for my country.
Wow. God, already.
Yeah, I mean, so, you know, being over there and coming back, I know that transition for you was, I mean, I guess you would say it's much like a lot of the other people that have transitioned out of the military, but I know that there's more to your story that comes in after, you know, leaving from the Army, and that's where really I think, if I'm correct, the story starts for you, and where it starts to, you know, form into, you know, what you had to go through to get where you are today, and still the things that you still, you know, work with and deal with today, that, you know, you have these things that you do now that help you with that. But, you know, do you mind getting into a little bit about that, like the transition coming out and kind of leading into your story after service?
Yeah. My first ex-wife, the mother of all my children, was pregnant with our second child. And she was born really premature. So I had just reenlisted and went into the medical field. Man, I had it made, you know, had a chest full of medals and stuff. They made me a corporal. Man, my shit didn't stink. I didn't care. I was in the medical field, didn't have to do nothing. And my daughter passed away. And my wife at the time and I made a decision that I would get out of service and we would put our relationship back together, because it was pretty rocky. So, needless to say, in a 16-month time frame, I come home from that crap in Somalia, I buried a child, and then I went through my first major divorce. 16 months.
Damn.
So over the next many years, I was an asshole before. Now I'm a drunk asshole. And I walked around like, what the hell's wrong with you? What the hell's wrong with you? And it wasn't them. It took me, last year and a half ago, when I finally woke up a little bit. It was me. It was me the whole time. I was the asshole. I was the one that was stuck in one frame of mind, and everybody was supposed to think and act like I did. I I moved to Georgia some years later, and then I had an opportunity to get custody of my daughter and my son. I have 3 children. So I cleaned myself up long enough to get them. I brought them down to Georgia with me, and I went right back to being the same asshole. I was not a good dad. I thought that if you had clothes and your ass was clean and your belly was full and you was doing good in school, then as a dad, I was succeeding. I missed that boat by a mile, by a mile. And the problem is I still pay for that today. I do. But I wasn't a good dad. I wasn't. Somebody forgot to hand me the book, say, hey, this is how you become a dad. This is what you do when you're a dad, when I got custody of these children. And of course, me going back into that I don't give a goddamn frame of mind didn't help none. Didn't help none. But I didn't see that at the time. I just, yes, there were people that told me, but I didn't listen. It didn't dawn on me. It didn't make sense for many years. So failed relationship after failed relationship. I moved back to Kentucky with the kids. My daughter was a straight A student. My oldest son was he was an honor roll, played ball. Good kids. And I screwed it up. More failed relationships. I got married a second time, divorced a second time. Tried to get my life together, moved back down to Georgia, and that was just a complete mess. So in July of 2014, I was working about 65, 70 hours a week as supervisor of this beverage company. Had children at home. My job was to work, pay the bills, make sure they were taken care of. That's what I done. I got sick in July. I didn't have time to go to the doctor. Didn't give a shit. That kept going, and I just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And October rolled around. My children wanted to go spend the weekend with their aunt and uncle and their cousins. And I was like, okay, no problem. So I take them over there, and when I come back home, I'm hitting a goddamn bottle, man, like it was water. Playing some old country, just slobbering your eyes out. I mean, just crazy. And for some reason, something caught me out of the corner of my eye. And it was my belt that was laying on the bed. So I picked it. I didn't even think. I just stood up, grabbed the belt, wrapped it around my neck, hung it from my bedroom door. I shoved both hands in my pockets, and I set my fat ass down. And I dangled there for a short amount of time. And then the goddamn belt broke. So I landed on my big ass right there in the bedroom floor. Boom. So it was early in the morning. I sent my mom a text message, said, I need help now. Something to that effect. A few minutes go by, and her and my stepdad show up. Stepdad's taking all the guns out of the house, and mama's in there trying to get me to pull my head out my ass. So anyway, that was in October. So I'm not a religious person. I was raised in church. I know right from wrong. But I think religion has killed more people in this world than anything else. However, I have faith. And what I'm about to tell you will make you understand what I mean. In December, I was laying in the bed one day, and you got to remember, I've been sick since July. It's like something told me, or my boss told me to go to the doctor. I went to the doctor. and found out not only did I have double pneumonia, but I also had acute myeloid leukemia, and I was pretty advanced. Now, with leukemia, you don't get, like stage 1, stage 2, stage 4, because in order to have stage with cancer, you must have a tumor. With leukemia, it's in your blood. So there's no tumor. You're just fucked. So I was at the VA in Louisville for 2 or 3 days in ICU, and they were giving me chemo tablets. Well, if you know anything about blood count, a normal white blood cell count somewhere around 8, 9, 10,000. When I got to the VA the first day, I was at 69,000 and some change. When they put me in an ambulance, shot me across town to University of Louisville, I was at 113,000 and some change. And the doctor's like, how are you even talking to me? So they told my family, said, look, the treatment we're about to put him through will probably kill him before the disease. Now, here's the kicker, ladies and gentlemen. My dad, my mother, and I all had cancer at the same time.
Damn.
So I laid there in that bed one night at the hospital, and it's like this little voice starts talking to me. And it was my Jesus. My Jesus was like, hey, yeah, I heard a couple months ago you wanted to die. Well, we're going to try this out. And when we get through with this, you let me know how you feel. Well, the first time in the hospital cost me 3.5 months. I stayed in the hospital 3.5 months. And they finally got me into remission. So I come home, and then there was a couple weeks in the hospital, a month in the hospital, a few days in the hospital for 11 months. 11 months, I relapsed. Well, my type of leukemia, when it comes back mad. And it did. That time cost me 4 months in the hospital. And we did what's called a stem cell transplant. When they tell you that your siblings only have about a 30% chance of even matching you. When they first put me on the national donor list, I had over 10,000 hits, but the numbers weren't high enough for my doctors to say, yes, let's use that one, because I've been so far along in that process, and they really wanted it. So my oldest brother, he's just goofy as hell. He said, I'll go get tested. Cool. So he went and gets tested. And my nurse called me the next day. And my nurses typically didn't call me. And she's bawling her eyes out. And she said, has anybody talked to you yet? I said, no. And she said, not only did your brother match, he's a super donor. Your all's numbers went off the charts together. So they brought my brother in, started doing all these other tests on him and stuff, and getting him ready to be a donor. And it's pretty much, we've all heard of the bone marrow transplants and stuff, and it's so painful for the donors. But with the stem cell, they basically just send them down this big old machine. They got a tube running out of one arm, tube running into another one. They suck your blood out. It pulls your stem cells out and shoots your blood back in your body. So when they think they got enough stem cells, they run across the street to where I'm at in the hospital, and they shoot it in my IV, and they just sit there and watch this shit drip. By the way, there's 2 or 3 doctors, 4 or 5 nurses, my whole family, and a crash team sitting out in the hallway when this is going on. Because if I was to donate a kidney to you, your body can reject that kidney. Well, I was getting a brand new immune system. So his immune system going into me can say, ooh, kidney's not mine, lungs not mine, brain's not mine, heart's not mine. I mean, it could have shut it all down. But because his numbers were so high with mine, I had just a little bit of problems there for a while. I did a lot of really heavy throwing up for quite some time. But that's what they call host versus graft disease. So we made it, man. We made it. We made it by the skin of our damn teeth, but we made it. So after I was home for a while, and it's like Jesus tapped me on the shoulder one night and said, hey, you still feel like dying? Oh, man, I'm good. You got my attention. So I go down I go back to Georgia every year and I hog hunt. Every January, I try to go down and spend the whole month. So I had a little small trailer, and I bought this bigger trailer. Had a custom design. It's wider, it's taller. It's got a 50 amp electrical package in it. So I spent almost $13,500 on this thing. So I'm sitting there at the house, man. I'm like, I really got into myself one week. I really did. I laid in the bed for like 4 days, fighting myself. Damn it. And I could not see an end. But something kept clicking. Use the trailer. Use your mouth. Use the trailer. Use your mouth. Then I fought this shit for 4 days hard. And on the last day, I called my buddy JT down in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I said, hey, you know I bought that 24-foot trailer for hog hunting, right? He said, oh, yeah. He said, did you do that so you'd have room for us when we come down hog hunting? I said, I always got room for you. That's not a problem. And I said, I've got another idea. He said, yeah, what's that? I said, I'm going to take that son of a bitch and have it decorated with warrior rounds. And I'll tell you about warrior rounds in a minute. He started giggling. He said, what you going to do then? I said, well, I'm going to bring it down to Murfreesboro, Tennessee. That's where JT lives. Now he's really laughing. And he said, and then what? I said, I'm going to steal all your hats, all your T-shirts, all your CDs, everything I can get my hands on. I'm haul ass, and I'm going to run around the country running my mouth. And he said, I love you. I appreciate that. He said, you understand I can't pay you. And I said, I know you love me, and I love you too. I didn't ask you to pay me. Because at the time, I was only receiving Social Security. So after all my bills were paid at the first of the month, if I had $300-400 left at the beginning of the month, I try to figure out what shows I can go to so I can run my mouth and spread some word about warrior rounds. So that's what got me as far as an ambassador for warrior rounds. And it's really pushed my eyes open and my heart, because I've seen so many people and I've heard so many stories. I had a lady come up to me in Rushville, Indiana, and she handed me this coin. On the coin was an angel, and inside the angel's wing was a soldier. And she said that somebody had given her this coin like 14 years earlier. But they told her, said, don't keep it. You'll know when to give it away. And her husband's standing right beside her, and she's bawling her eyes out. Now I'm bawling my eyes out. He's bawling his eyes out. And she said, all weekend long, we kept hearing you say you just wanted one. You just wanted to reach one, just one, all weekend. I said, yes, ma'am. And she said, you did. And she said, and that one was me. So she told me the story about the coin, and she gave me a big hug, and she gave me the coin. And that's what really pushed me in the direction I'm in now, because I have found that telling my story helps somebody. When I go to these shows, and I don't care if there's 10 people there. I don't care if there's 1,000 there. When I start, I tell them, I just want one. I'm after one. But I think it was Matt that said to me one time before, how many did I really get?
Yeah.
See, when I go to bed after that show, I'm drained. I am physically, mentally, I'm on zero. But I can sleep that night, because to me, the 22 a day just went down to 21 a day, because of me running my mouth for an hour and a half. And if it's all I have to do for the rest of the time I have on earth, I'm going to do it. As long as I can get up and open this big mouth, I'm going to do it. To me, if I can drop it from 22 to 21, I'm going to do it. And I'll be damned, nothing's going to stop me. Nothing's going to stop me, guys.
I hear that. I hear that. It's powerful stuff, Jane. I mean, to know that you go through all that stuff and all the time that we've known you, because we've talked to you, like Ty said earlier, we met you on the home front sit rep through David Willis. And in all the time that we've talked to you and all the time that I've known you, we've never heard your story, but you're always the most positive guy that I know. Joking, you're having a great time. And you have this thing where it just feels like you want everybody to know that it's okay to have fun, right? But then to hear that story and now know that you go around and tell that story so other people can, hear that even though things can be as bad as they could ever be in the world, there's still a purpose by why you're here. And all of this resonates towards what Scott says every week of like, somebody's expecting you to be there tomorrow. Yeah. So I just need you to get up and be there tomorrow. And so seeing how I've interacted with you, knowing you for as long as we have, to hearing that story, I'm just in astonishment and just amazed and just honored to hear the story and know you, because you give new meaning to the phrase that there's always a positive end to something, right? Like there's always something good to come out of anything, and even if you still have to fight it back every day, I'm just glad to hear that you're doing it. I'm glad that you're here, and I just really appreciate you coming on and telling that story, man, because it's something I think a lot of people need to hear, because it's not something you get to hear every day. I mean, 3 people in your family having cancer at one time, you have to fight it, multiple times, and you come out on the other end, and brothers are brothers at the end of the day, and it's just amazing that that's who got to, go through that with you and help you through. So good on you, my friend. I'm glad to have you on here today.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The name of my show is We All Do It Differently. I will never, ever say that my story is worse than anybody else's.
Yeah.
Why? Because we all do it differently. When we were little, my grandma used to say, if the good Lord put everybody in the world in one great big room, and he allowed everybody to throw all your problems in a great big pile, but the deal was you had to take one set of problems out. She said, everybody take their own. And it make no damn sense to me. Why the hell would I throw my shit away and just turn around and take it back? It makes perfect sense now. I went through some shit. You guys have gone through some shit. But I got tired of letting that shit define me. I allowed it to consume me and control me for too long.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to kid. I'm going to joke. I'm going to have fun. Yeah, you see Pamela Childress in there. That's my fiance. We just got a house together. And she knows these stories. She knew me from school. Man, I was an asshole. She, and I'll tell this, it's kind of funny. She's like, I had the biggest crush on you in school. And I said, that's great. I said, but it's a good thing I didn't know then, because she'd been one of those notches in the bedpost and that never ever wanted to speak to me again. And I'm ashamed of that, but that's how it was back then, And thank God she wasn't one of those notches, because now I have her. She's in my life, I still struggle. I mean, there's days it'll never be. I told a doctor one time, she said, what are you trying to get out of this? I said, I want to be normal. She said, great. Let's do it. What's normal? Well, fuck, I don't know. You're the doctor.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm here for you to tell me what that is.
She said, when you figure out what normal is,
right,
we'll work towards it. We'll get there. I don't know what freaking normal is. I'm 53. 45 years of my life, I've been an asshole. I know it's not normal. I pulled my head out of my own ass. So when I go to these shows, that's the big thing is, listen, I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I'm not up here for you to feel sorry for me. I'm up here because there's somebody in that audience that needs to hear my big mouth. Because when they can bend over and pull their own head out of their own ass, then we all win. And today just went to 21. Well, if we had 10,000 guys out there doing something similar to what I did, man, we can make a hell of an impact. I tell folks all the time, all the VSOs, it is so ridiculous why all these veteran service organizations are not working together. Man, wouldn't look how powerful it would be if you had 50. Okay, I run into somebody that has a specific problem. My organization may not be able to handle it. But man, I got 49 other sons of bitches on this phone. Hold on one second. I don't let you walk away with your problem. I got somebody right here, right now that can absolutely help you and get you going in the right direction. Why don't we do that? And I'm going to tell you why we don't do it. It's called greed. When so many of them veteran organizations get out there and they say, oh, we need to raise money. Wait. Which one of you son of a bitches in your mission statement says anything about we're here to collect money? So when I hear you talking about money or greed, I take all my toys and I go home. I ain't got time for that bullshit. I don't get paid. I travel halfway across the United States on my dime, and I'm disabled. I pay my bills, and if I got $200 left and I can get up to Indiana or I can get to Parkersburg, West Virginia, see you in 4 days, knuckleheads. I'm gone.
Yep.
You know, I sell a lot of stuff for Warrior Rounds when I'm out on the road. Well, get them on the phone anytime you want. Ask them how much that Venmo hits them. That ain't my damn money. You know, I got placards out there. People are sending donations while I'm there. When I get back, we tally up the funds and I send a big old whopper down there. You know, I don't want to hear about the greed. I don't want to see it or hear it. It's sad. Oh, we want to do something for these veterans. Then do it without being a greedy bastard.
Yep.
Do it because your heart tells you to do it. Do it because when you go to sleep tonight, you're going to feel a whole lot better and sleep better because maybe you helped somebody. Maybe you helped a young man that's about to blow his brains out, that's got 2 little kids at home and a new wife. What if he went home and rethought about his situation? It didn't cost you $1. It cost you 10 minutes of your time to talk to that young man. If we all take 10 minutes each day and talk to somebody, that's all it takes. We don't have to do it for money. Be damned the money. You know what I mean? Just talk. And I learned I can do that. I hate getting in front of crowds, man. I freaking hate it. But I don't do too bad when I get up there.
Yeah, you just got to warm up. That's all.
Yeah. Sometimes a couple little brown liquid courage just never hurts. But, you know, just enough to calm down a little bit. I am from Kentucky, capital of bourbon. You know, anyway. But no, that's why I do it. I learned the hard way. And because I wouldn't listen to the people around me that cared enough for me to lead me in the right direction. I didn't care. I didn't want to hear it. Oh, you ain't never been to combat. Oh, you ain't never been in the service. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Boy, and I'm stupid as hell. You know, I believe that, yes, as far as veterans, military personnel, especially combat, yes, PTSD is very, very high. But I also believe every single adult in this world has some form of PTSD.
Yeah.
Because every single one of them has gone through some type of traumatic event. Now, it doesn't have to be a prolonged traumatic event. It doesn't have to be a repetitious traumatic event, but they went through one. So more people understand this than what we think. So it's not just veterans. When I'm at these shows, it's not just veterans that's there. I want everybody that understands what I'm trying to talk about. Because it can help anybody. Yes, my heart is with our veterans. Absolutely. Number one. But you mean I'm going to walk away from a group because there's no veterans in it and I'm not going to run my mouth? Shit.
Yeah,
You better go
absolutely.
get Charlie Brown. He ain't never going to see no shit like what I'm about to do. Hell no, I'm going to talk. First responders, teachers, church organizations. I gives a damn. Somebody needs to hear what I have to say when I'm out. And that's why I do it. That's why I
I
do
love
it.
it.
Yes, sir.
I love it, man.
Well, like you say, man, even when you tied that belt around your neck and you fell on your ass, the one thing, like Matt said, I'm always going to tell you, you were forced to get off your ass because somebody wanted you to be there the next day, right? Even if that was yourself. Look at you now, right? When you were at your lowest point, at some point in time, you got your ass up, and look where you are now, changing lives, touching people, right? If you didn't get your ass up, what would it look like? Sometimes you have to stop and think about what it would look like on the other side if you did not get your ass up. If you allowed yourself to do the one selfish thing that you can never come back to apologize for or make right. If you allow yourself to get to that point to where you do that, you never get a chance to get on the other side of it. People ask all the time, what's our podcast about? What do we talk about? We don't know. Shit. It goes in the direction that it goes. But the key takeaway is that things only happen if you allow yourself to get up and make it happen. Nothing is going to happen when you quit, except failure. It's just quit. When you quit, that's it. It's just a quit. Even if you feel like you're losing the game, there's not an NBA player, NFL player, volleyball player, golf player who hasn't taken a loss. But it's when you get your ass up and play the game another day. Life is about getting up and playing the game. There's no such thing as all wins, no losses. Nobody goes through life with all wins and no losses. It's how we deal with the losses. It's how we get through those tough times. It's how we pull somebody else up that makes life keep going on and on and on and on. A storm can come. A cold freeze can come. All your plants are going to die. The trees are going to die. Your water pumps in your pool are going to bust. All the crazy stuff is going to happen. But the sun finds a way to shine another day. And then guess what? The plants grow back. The trees come back. The water pump gets fixed. Your pool's back. The kids are back jumping in the pool again. People are back outside playing basketball because it didn't stay that way for long. Floods come, hurricanes come, tornadoes come, and people come together and they pick their communities back up. It's about getting your ass up and keep going. And I'm gonna tell you, Mr. JT, I mean, your words are inspiring. Your what you've been through is inspiring, but the empowerment from you, my brother, is that you got your ass up through the toughest time that you've ever been through, in the darkest moment. You found a way to get up, and you didn't just get up for yourself. You got up, and now your mission is to help somebody else. That is a true testament of a man. You got up. You have another chance to fix being a father. You have another chance to you know what I mean? You have another chance. But had you have given up, we wouldn't even be here today having this conversation with you. So I commend you for that. And anybody who's watching, I would tell you, if you know somebody who's down, help them get their ass back up. That's what this shit is about. I think we need to go to a break unless somebody else has something to say. But, hey, this has been great. We're in the house with my man, James Thornton. This is a Triple Threat Vet podcast. My man, Al Hero, got up, got back in the building. My man, Ty Cobb, is in the building. My man, Matt Johnson, in the building. Now I'm with you. And you guys are here. If you guys are with us, you have got your ass back up. And I'm proud of you. We're going to go to a break. We're going to pay some bills, but we'll be right back. This is Triple Threat Vet podcast, y'all.
Get ready to groove to the electrifying sounds of DJ Royal T, the maestro of mixing who knows how to turn any event into an unforgettable dance sensation. Royal T Entertainment is here to bring you the ultimate musical experience straight from the ones and twos in your ears and through your body to activate them dancing shoes. Get ready to sweat, party, and have a good time while your DJ needs are being blazed by none other than me, DJ Royal T. I have spent years crafting together a DJ entertainment empire that promises a customized blend of musical tracks, mix and mastering, and top quality sound, all while providing a vibrant ambiance to accommodate any of your DJ needs. Royalty Entertainment Services is your premier one-stop shop for top-tier musical entertainment and is hosted by yours truly. For more information, reservations, and booking, feel free to look around the website at godjroyalty.com. I am DJ Royalty, and this has been another Royalty Entertainment production. Yeah.
Gear up in style wearing Got Your Six apparel. Every purchase makes a difference. It's more than just clothing, it's a statement of gratitude. Upgrade without breaking the bank. Discover cost-effective, high-quality clothing made in the USA. Each shirt is handcrafted by our team in the great state of Texas and shipped for free to your front door. Got Your Six is where quality meets purpose. We're a small veteran-owned business that takes pride in the mission and the value of our products. Join us in growing a community, supporting our heroes, veterans, and first responders by wearing a custom design.
I thought you'd never ask.
Visit sameflagsameoath.com and use the code TRIPLETHREAT for 10% off. Follow us on all social media platforms for any upcoming releases or events, and you can reach out to us with questions anytime. We are here to support our brothers and sisters.
Hey everyone, Matt Verdi here at Veteran Mortgage Solutions. If you are a realtor and you work around a military installation or you have a lot of veteran or active duty clients, come to our class every Monday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We will educate you about everything you need to know for your client about the VA home loan, what they can and cannot do, some myths about the VA home loan. And when you complete our class, we will send you a seal for social media, a certificate of completion, and we'll also mail you a coin as thank you for coming to our class. But then the best part is, now we develop a partnership. So when we have pre-qualified leads in your area, we will send them to you. And when you have clients that need lending help, you send them to us. And we form a partnership where we work together and we help these veterans get into homes. Have a wonderful day and message me if you have any questions.
All right. So I know it's crazy. I was going to tell James, man, I relate to that dude so much because I stubbed my toe one time and that shit was fucking painful as fuck. Like it was tough. And I love to touch people too. So I don't know if we're, you know, if you need somebody to go out and help touch people, I'm all about touchies. You know what I'm saying? P. Diddy, everybody in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
This guy.
Oh, man.
I have no idea what you're talking about there.
Hey, a pinky toe is nothing to scoff at. Just
I
saying.
think Julie calls you Bruno.
No, in our in the guy.
That's
Oh,
dog.
Bruno the
commercial.
dog. Oh, okay. I thought we were
Yeah,
talking
Bruno.
about the funny movie Bruno, where he's the
You want to talk about Bruno?
Yeah, Bruno's the mascot for Got Your Six. He photobombs
Yeah,
better than
gotcha.
Scott.
Bruno photobombs better than me?
Yes.
I thought I was the
actually.
photobomb king.
Doubtful.
No,
But
it is
Al,
not
I'm
done.
glad you made it out, man. I'm glad you made it for this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's so tomorrow's going to be tough because I've got, I think it's 25. I still haven't signed the certs, but I'm going to 25. I'm going do my hospice shit tomorrow, but there's 25. I want to say 25 veterans that we have to go deliver their final flag, do their pinning ceremony. So it's going to be tough, especially with the week I've had. So it's going to be something. I would like to just, drink some more whiskey, but apparently that's frowned upon in the hospice community to show up smelling like Kentucky bourbon. I don't know why. Like, you know what I mean? I'll suck on a penny like we used to when we was kids. Fucking take a Tic Tac. I don't know, but apparently you can't be fucked up when you go to
Yeah.
veterans' homes.
You're strong enough to do this, man.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. The good news story is the
Absolutely.
gentleman that I went and seen the first time that I did it, the Vietnam Army veteran, like they're kind of weird, like as far as like his wife doesn't want anybody around. Even when I came to drop off that Vietnam field coat, like I knocked on the door and she like cracked it open and was like, just leave it on the porch. I was like, yes, ma'am. Like, and I guess they reached back out to hospice and I guess he hadn't eaten in some days. And then after we left, he ate and he asked, would I be willing to come back out and hang out with him? But I'm like, shit, yeah, I'll come hang out with my boy, right? He has some pretty cool stories. Now I'm going to have to put some, Axe body spray because bro, I hugged that dude. I went home. I'm like, I just smoked a whole carton. I was like, dang.
You told me that story when you were at my house this weekend.
I'm going to have to prep up because, whew, buddy, like my eyes was burning. Like I was like, damn.
Well, let's bring James back, but I wanted to talk about this group that supports James as well. James, this is the motorcycle group that was supporting you there earlier. Let's see, 4th annual Sergeant Hilgert Memorial Ride, Saturday, August 3rd. Registration's on there, so check out the website. Please Google that up if you're in that area, and go out and support that. That's a wonderful cause. You got to keep on saying our brothers and sisters' names so that they will never be forgotten. So thank you very much to that Motorcycle Association up there for doing that for your brother. Appreciate it very much. So, and my condolences.
And this is, again, I say it all the time, I'm not a religious person. I don't follow religion, but I have faith. And this is what's weird to me, amazing about what you just showed, that Sergeant Hilbert was killed in Somalia when we first got there. Okay, that gentleman. There were 4 MPs killed in a Hummer. His son is in that motorcycle group, and I'm responsible for helping bring in the largest Vietnam traveling wall to our hometown in July. And I was reaching out for organizations to help escort it into town. And these folks reached out to me. And I'm like, look, I just like to come down and talk to you all for a little bit, go over the do's and don'ts, explain who I am, explain what Warrior Rounds is. And it's caught fire, man. It's like somebody took a big old bucket of gas and threw it on my ass. And it's like, boom, everything it's just falling into place. Those are some great, great folks. And, they'll do a ride, and one of the Harley Davidson dealers here in town, they take off, they do this long ride, and they stop. This gentleman has a memorial here. I didn't even know about it. This guy's like right down the road, and I didn't even know about it. That's when we put them blinders on, that's our problem. We got them damn blinders on. But now I'm honored to be a part of this now. I really am, and able to bring Warrior Rounds into this is just fantastic. And for y'all that don't know about Warrior Rounds, it's in a nutshell, it's music therapy. Matt, I'll use you as an example, sir. I can take you and put you in front of the world's best psychologist, psychiatrist, therapist. Matt, spill your guts. Matt's only going to talk for about 2 minutes. 1, he's pissed. 2, he don't want to be there. Done. But I can take Matt to Nashville, Tennessee, and I can put him in a little bitty room at a recording studio with an accomplished singer-songwriter out of Nashville. And Matt will not shut up all day. That's a fact. We have the videos to prove it. It is something about sitting in that room with that individual, and they articulate and they know the right questions to ask and when to back up and when to push. And when I went down for my retreat, I was linked up with a gentleman by the name of Bobby E. Boyd. Now, unfortunately, what's sad, a lot of folks don't know songwriters' names anymore. Streaming music and all that stuff is really just, it's killed music. But anyway, this gentleman is a co-writer for a little song called Bless the Broken Road that a small group called Rascal Flatts won a Grammy with. So that's the gentleman that sat with me that day and we wrote a song, and it's called Longer Than I Thought. Yes, I figured I'd finally win. It just took longer than I thought. So it's an honor for me to be able to represent such a great veteran organization. And I got asked one time, why them? Why not another VSO? Well, first of all, it's because of my connections with Warrior Rounds. JT Cooper, who started that, was in my unit in Somalia. He was shot that night during Black Hawk Down. His roommate was killed that night. So that's where my heart is. They flipped that. They turned the first light switch on for me. They did. And for that, I'll forever be grateful. So that's why I roll with Warrior Rounds. That's why I push them as much as I do. And now, when I
think I was on, Jane. I listened. I think I was on one of the podcasts that you were on. I think you were. I think I was listening, and I think that was part of it. I think they had some musicians on there, and one of the gentlemen was singing. It was pretty impressive, right? It was. I enjoyed it, like you said, the music therapy part. But I would tell you, I wouldn't take Matt Johnson and put him in a room and be like, he's never going to shut up. That dude never shuts up anyways. Like, it would be the longest song. It would be like November Rain. It would be like a 40-hour
instant classic.
Like, it'd be so long. Oh God.
It'd be like Hotel California on.
It'd be worse.
Just keep going and keep going and keep going.
Yeah,
it'd be man. I wouldn't put him in a room with a songwriter.
Hey, Matt's all right turd. I like him, man. For real.
I mean, he's average. I mean, his wife's way better than him.
At best,
his wife's
average
so much
at
cooler.
best.
Wife is so much cooler, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no kidding.
So
Look at everybody on here. We can all say that.
At some point last year, another one of my Army buddies, one of my best friends, he was actually my roommate for a while, and we also served in Somalia together. He is a supervisor with a company called AVTT, American Veterans Traveling Tribute. And they do the Vietnam Traveling Wall and the Cost of Freedom Tribute. So they have different size walls. And then they also have little panels that they set up that's for the Cost of Freedom. And that's pretty much every major conflict the United States has ever been in. Now, the problem with that is the earlier conflicts, the records were so hard to get all those names. So if we look at the Vietnam Wall, 58,000 plus names, the youngest person on there being 15, 2 16-year-olds and 8 women, just in case you didn't know. With the Cost of Freedom Tribute, altogether there's over 70,000 names displayed on that field at one time. So this wall that we're bringing into Shepherdsville is an 80% replica of the original wall out of D.C. It is 360 feet long. It is massive. So anyway, I got hooked up with Wes. He called me, said, "Can you come to Indiana with me?" And then that's what really helped push me over the threshold, so to speak, meeting more and more people and getting my name out there. And then, of course, I've got a few sponsors on my trailer that help me get from show to show. And I tell folks all the time, I said, look, if you want me to come talk, I'll come talk. I don't give a damn. I don't charge to come talk. Give me enough time where I can get there. I'm fat. If you want to buy me a cheeseburger when I get there, I'm in. No problem. If you want to take up a donation for Warrior Rounds, that's great. But James doesn't get paid. I don't make a single penny. So I mean, they're booking me now. I've got a few shows. I kind of slowed it down until the end of July when that wall comes in. We've been working on that wall for almost a year now. I mean, there's just so much into it. You're talking about the governor. You're talking about the Kentucky State Commissioner for the VA. I mean, just all kinds. Everybody that thinks there's somebody wants to come down and play, and which is fine. That's good. But, the mayor, we have an awesome mayor in our town, and our city council are some great folks. And I told him, I said, look, the city paid for it. It's between the city and this for-profit company. That's nothing to do with me. I just straight up asked the mayor, can I be a part of it? Can I let warrior rounds? Because of one, my connection with the people that have the wall, and two, this is my hometown. And he's like, yeah, run with it. I said, well, you want it little or you want it big? He said, blow it the hell up. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I've locked the city park down for that time frame, and there's certain sections, and there's like no vehicle traffic except for golf carts, none. This certain area, to me, it's going to be hollow ground. Don't come in here and act like an ass. I got 4 or 5 people that's going to be on rotation every 4 hours the whole time the wall's there. They're not security, but they're there to remind you to fucking behave. And if you don't want to behave, one of those fine young men or women back there with the badge, they're going to help you. You know what I'm saying? You only have to be asked one. You shouldn't have to be asked none. But sometimes. So we got live music on the other end. We've got vendors. We've got veteran service organizations going to be set up representing their stuff. We have food trucks. We have a beer truck, a bourbon truck. I mean, we're just really gonna throw down. If you've never seen the wall, I would recommend that when it comes close to you, if you haven't been to DC, you don't want to see it once. You want to see it twice. You want to see it in the daytime, and then you want to see it at night. Because I promise you, that wall changes from day to night. It's the exact same thing. But your heart feels totally different when you see it at day versus night. It's such a powerful, moving tribute. When we come home from Somalia in 93, that was what? 22 years after the last guys were coming home from Vietnam. They were treated like shit. We all know this. But 20-something years later, they started treating us a little bit better. Now, we didn't get screamed at and hollered at. A few folks waved, hey guys, blah, blah, blah. Now the whole freaking airport shuts down when soldiers and sailors and whatever come through. And that's great. But what about those hundreds of thousands of men and women that did not get that? They deserve it. They deserve it. Not only for the ones that's on that wall, but for everyone that's still with us today, everyone that's still fighting that war today. They deserve that welcome home. And as long as the good Lord allows me to suck air, they're going to get a welcome home from me because they deserve it.
Well said, brother.
Absolutely.
I take a lot of the stuff I do and I try to roll it into one big ball. I got a big mouth. I can talk about all kinds of shit all day long. So let's just roll it all into one.
Yeah.
Let's just do the right thing. We had 2 KIAs from our county. And with the help of David and Julie Willis there, we have been in contact with both families of the gentlemen that lost their lives in Vietnam. And we're going to have the mayor from one town and the mayor from the other. And the families come in. They're going to do a little speech about the guys. And then we're going to put a special arrangement of flowers or whatever at the wall. Have a little thing for them. One gentleman has one sibling left, and another one has 2. And I'll tell you, one gentleman was 26 years old when he got killed in Vietnam. And if you guys remember stories about Vietnam, if you were 26, you were an old man. Him and his wife were about to get some R&R in Hawaii. And his wife was at home packing her suitcase when they knocked on her front door. The other gentleman, his wife just passed away in 2016. And as the stories go, at funeral homes, little stories get passed around. The family shared with us that one of the stories that got passed around was her only true love. Think about this. He was a very young man when he got killed in Vietnam. She never remarried. She never had children. That's powerful, guys.
Absolutely.
That's why those families of the ones that did pay the ultimate sacrifice need our respect and our love as well, because they pay too.
Yeah.
They pay too. They didn't pay
So
with their lives, but they paid with
James,
livelihood.
yeah. So James, real quick, I wanted to, and everything that you're doing, like everybody's hearing all the stuff that you got going on, but I did want to take a step back and see if you could just with us go a little bit deeper into warrior rounds. Kind of like if you're a veteran who they obviously they want to help every veteran, but kind of do a little bit of a deeper dive into warrior rounds, kind of what they do, how it works, and then, if there's any way to talk about if someone knows somebody or somebody wants to get referred, kind of like what that process would look like for them, just to kind of, give them a little bit of information on their mission and how they do things.
Absolutely. Warrior Rounds, of course, has a website. They've been out since 2018. So warriorrounds.com. There is an area on there where you can tell your story. And then every so often they'll go through and they'll select folks. And what happens, this is what's amazing. They bring them down to Nashville, put them up in a real nice hotel. Next day you go down to the recording studio. You do your thing all day long, breakfast, lunch. And then afterwards they take everybody out to dinner, and then they send you back home the next day. Okay, great. About 2 months later, it's given the singer-songwriter time to learn your song. Now we're having free live concerts at the Hard Rock Cafe in downtown Nashville. The thing about Nashville and country music is that, well, pretty much all music, because there's not a human, not an adult alive today that music hasn't touched you in some way, at some form. It doesn't matter what genre. It does not matter. Music touches the soul of everybody at some point. So in Nashville, not only they want to know the song, they want to know the story behind the song. So when they get them all down to the Hard Rock Cafe, there's these big TVs all over inside this bar. And then once they start, it's like for me, for example, lucky me, I was number one that night. So all of a sudden, the place is all loud. People are talking. The lights go off and all these TVs light up. And there's my big mug on the TV. And I start telling my little story about me coming down there. And then Mr. Bobby Boyd gets on there and talks about working with me. And then the lights on the stage come up, and there's Mr. Bobby Boyd sitting on a chair. And then again, he talks a little bit about working with me and what we done. And then they play our song. Then he plays our song. And they do that for every, I like saying warrior, and it's because it's not just veterans. It's not just combat veterans. It's first responders. It's cancer survivors. It's Gold Star families. Those are warriors. And everybody has a story. And that's what we want to hear. So we bring them down there. We do that. Then we have so you got 10, 12 people up there, and you've got a lot of Grammy award winning singer-songwriters on that stage. And they are donating and volunteering their time and their talent to help these veterans out. So although it is a quote unquote free concert for the public to attend, it costs Warrior Rounds about $30,000 each show. So hence, I'm trying to push a whole lot of T-shirts, hats, and CDs. So the founder, JT, him and his wife, Mama Myra, JT's had a little bit of a health scare a couple times in the last year, his back and his legs. And anyway, they've really been through the ringer. They have 12 children, by the way. They have a couple of their own, and they keep adopting. I say keep adopting. They adopt a lot of children that really need love. And sometimes they're on the far end of the spectrum. They really do good things. They really do. So JT's just about on the mend. He was on another podcast a few weeks ago. And there's rumor that he's going to wind up. He had a 15-year music career in Nashville. He's released a couple albums. His name's JT Cooper. And if you get a chance, there's a song called Mr. No Apology. All of us veterans will get the song. I promise you. There's some people out there on the outside that don't really get the song, but it's not always written just for them. But anyway, Mr. No Apology, J.T. Cooper. There's rumors that he might wind up in Shepherdsville during the Vietnam War. So, but that's Warrior Rounds in a nutshell. They really, really do some good stuff, and it's just that. I mean, it's music therapy. It works. Music absolutely works.
Yeah, I know that Ty shares your sentiment there. We've talked a lot before. I know that Scott does, and so does Al, but Ty talks about it a couple times. Music putting you into those places where when you hear that certain song, you remember where you were at, you remember what you went through, and then sometimes just hearing the song doesn't make it horrible, but it makes you just remember, right? And I know that I've seen Ty in quite a few places. All of a sudden, you'll just see a different glow or a different look, and it's always when there's a certain song playing, and it's just, it's amazing to see that, and that's a pretty cool process where you can go in and tell your story and then write a song about it, and then, It's just another way to continue to say that person's name even when they're long and gone, because that song will live on forever.
Yeah, if you go to YouTube, you can type in Warrior Round videos, and you'll get a ton of videos. If you type in Warrior Rounds space and then put my last name, you'll get my video, and it's longer than I thought, not you think, knucklehead. Yeah, I mean, and they're there. I was at a show and I was talking to a lady, and she was telling me about her husband and that her husband just will not talk to her. And I said, ma'am, he'll talk to me. She said, no, you don't understand. We've been married over 20 years. He will not talk. I said, listen, you are his number one. You're the mother of his children. He will die for you in less than a second, given the opportunity. Yeah. But he is not going to talk to you about something that he knows you don't understand. It's not that he doesn't think you won't be supportive.
Right.
You're not going to understand. So I'm talking to this lady early in the day, and she's telling me, unfortunately, about her father committing suicide. Well, when I'm on the road, I've got a big TV and a computer, and I flip on this video of these 3 young kids that their daddy had come back from Afghanistan and became one of the 22. So she hears the story from these 3 kids, and one of the children was about her age when her daddy did it. And then the song. Man, and here come the tears, which I know that. I'm not sadistic that I like seeing people cry, but I know I'm getting you when I see that. If that makes sense.
Yeah. The connection is there, right? The connection is there. And
absolutely. Yeah. It's telling me that I'm not out here just burning a whole bunch of hot air. So her husband comes over the next morning and introduced himself to me, and a really, really nice guy. And later on that afternoon, we had a couple little cups of brown liquid courage, and we start talking. And then I hear that space, half-ass stutter. And I'm like, man, go around the other side of the table. Go in front of the TV. So I play my story. And I start talking to him. He folds his arms. A tear comes down his face. And he starts talking about stuff. And his wife is bawling, standing right next to him. I've never heard this before. I said, ma'am, remember what I told you? He won't talk to you, but he will to me. Man, and that guy was spilling his guts because he had somebody finally that had done it too. Somebody that understands. And look, I'm not educated at all in any type of mental illness. I do have many, many hours of sitting across the desk from most, but I'm not. But you know what I do have? I have many, many, many years of firsthand experience. And what I learned in all those many, many years, brothers, all we have to do is talk. That's all we have to do is talk. If we can put that I'm a macho son of a bitch over here in a shoebox. Put a piece of tape on it, put it in the top of our closet. I didn't say get rid of it. I said, just put it away. Talk. Be a real man. A real man isn't that macho son of a bitch. Trust me, I lived it for too long. The real man's the one's going to open his ears, his mouth, and his heart. And when we can help one of our veteran brothers or anybody to that point, we all win. Especially for those folks that have walked in our shoes and us in theirs. The old saying, scratch my back. There's a lot of backs out there need to be scratched.
Yeah.
Who's going to raise their hand and say, hey, I'm next in line to scratch somebody's back? I'm saying line the son of a bitch is up. As far as you can get the line, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
That's what I do. So if any of your listeners want me to come out and talk, it doesn't have to be a veteran organization. It could be a church, school. I don't give a damn. Of course, I know how to behave if I'm at a church or a school because I have to tone it down just a little bit. Veteran organizations, it's off the charts. But anyway, I do know how to behave in public. And again, it costs absolutely nothing. Nothing. Just give me a little bit of time to get there.
Yep.
And if your organization or whatever wants to make a donation to Warrior Rounds, perfect. But I'll come down and run my mouth 45 minutes an hour. I don't care. You want to buy me a cheeseburger, plate of spaghetti when I get there? Bingo, I'm in. But this is why I do it. And it's so freaking important to me and for so many people that I have been able to reach. So that's why I do it.
Good stuff.
I mean, where do you go from there? Honestly, like it's
I
mean, you keep going forward, but you know, at some point, you know, especially when we have talks like this, man, like you always want to ask what would be the next thing, or you want to go into something else. And I mean, just listening to what you're saying, James, and how you do it and where you go, you know, we could talk about it forever. I mean, it just feels like, I don't know what you guys think, but it feels like a good space to be able to let everybody, you know, think about it and let it set in, and then get ready to come back and do it again next week. Because I mean, you said it beautifully the whole time you were talking about it. It just, the biggest thing I like about it is talking is free and your time is free if you want to do it for the right reason, right?
Absolutely.
And a lot of times, right, a lot of people can listen to that or hear what you're saying there, and there's a lot of people that should probably take that advice, because, you know, everything is just like it's always been growing up too. You know, you go through all those classes and like you see this happen across the way, and would you say something? Would you get involved? Would you be the person to say anything? And the reality is, even back then when we were kids, we were like, well, doesn't affect me. I'm not saying anything. But nowadays, I feel and see, and just like I said, I was at a crawfish bowl over the weekend, and you just start talking one word about being a veteran, then all of a sudden it's like a magnet. They all come around, they're all sitting there talking. And then there is a group of people, when they see us interacting in that way, that are just looking and just don't understand, right? I'd never met any of these people. None of them. I've never met any of them. But you would think we knew each other for like 10 years. Just because it's the stories you can tell, and it's the things you can relate to. And so, and if you're out there and you go to these events and you see these veterans, I mean, just say something, talk to them, tell them hello. I think the best thing to do is when you see the older generation of guys, Vietnam and older, like just ask them to tell you a story. They'd love to tell you a story. Not enough people want to listen to those guys. So, I mean, thank you for what you do, James. I'm inspired by it. We need to figure out how to get you and everything you do down to Texas. Find the right time for it. Find the right place for it. I think we could definitely get you down here to do some great things for sure.
Yep.
And Miss Morgan said, can we meet that sweet dog? Let me show you my guard dog. That's Charlie. Charlie is my rescue. He is a German Shepherd, Great Pyrenees mix. He is 2 years old. And other than me and my fiance, Pam, if you come in his house, you're now his chew toy.
I won't be coming by there. I got little dogs, but big dogs.
Oh, and he especially loves the light-skinned guys.
Oh, okay, yeah. I look like cooked chicken already.
He's a good dog. He's a good dog. It just takes him a while to get warmed up. That's Charlie. He's a monster.
Shouts out to Charlie. I seen him back there being a good dog too.
That's right.
Back there, making sure you're telling the story right.
That's right. That's right.
That's how
He was eyeballing the screen a whole lot. I see him making eye contact with you, Scott. He was like, "That dude's probably gonna come here and try to steal my TV." The dog's got a racist bone in his body. I could see it in his eyes.
At one point, my dogs are in the background howling because they do that. Whenever Alexa talks in the house, my dog howls at the thing. I don't know why.
Your wife trained. Hey, bro, your wife trained that. You know why? Because if there's another woman in the house, them dogs. Renee did that, bro. You can ask Renee about what's up with that.
In Charlie's defense, remember, he is part Great Pyrenees. And what is a Great Pyrenees? It is an all-white dog.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Cracker.
So, but the German Shepherd, he's got the gold, he's got the brown, he's got the beige. You know, he's the chameleon now. So
there you go.
He's not racist. He hates everybody equally.
He's just like us. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
He is his daddy's child.
Yeah.
Well, James, I just want to tell you, I loved hearing your story. I kind of had heard it on David's podcast, but hearing it all in one stream of thought for the first time, I can't wait to hear you talk in public. I think your story is best suited to be told to people in mass and kind of be an ambassador for Warrior Round. So I think you're right where you're supposed to be. So I'm very, very happy that you came on the podcast. I've had this date circled for a while because, we've deployed a lot, man. Like, we've seen lots of deployments, seen a lot of things. And like you said, everybody experiences it different and people are able to process things differently. So thank you very much for sharing your story. I really enjoyed it. So,
hey, and I'm just proud that I did it without crying. But I do know that Pam down there, Pamela Childers, I do know she cried because she sent me a message. So I hope I didn't make too many people cry, but I was pretty.
Well, there's a lot of comments. You made a lot of people cry, but you know that you always do every time you tell the story. So
I'm just happy that I didn't make myself cry tonight. So it must be my soggy beaver barbecue sauce.
It's gotta be.
I texted Robert Rocha, the host of the So Smoking Gooder show, and sent him a picture of that. That's why I took it. And he's probably going to ask you about that. He might want to bring you on and say some words on his show.
Yeah.
We got a lot of veterans that are involved in the barbecue, and it's the same thing. It's therapeutic. You go through the equipment maintenance just like you would in the military. There's a bivouac quotient to it to where most of the time you're staying out. So everything that happens, that's what I love about the podcast and the network that David Willis and all of us are building, is we've got people in different states doing different things that are absolutely just dealing out tools for veterans to be able to just live as normal of a life as we can with what is it that you say, Matt? We make the abnormal normal, and now the normal is abnormal. So good on you, man. I love hearing the story, but we'll let you go now. But I really appreciate you being here. Is there any shout outs you want to give for Warrior Rounds? I put their stuff in the thing. Oh, let's plug this one more time before you go, brother. Let's plug this thing for the motorcycle group. I want to put that back up one more time. Talk wax poetic a little bit about this for me one more time.
So Bluegrass Harley Davidson here in Louisville, Kentucky, they'll have this run in the Hardcore Patriot guys and gals. Basically, there's just going to be a big old event in one day. And there's going to be some vendors and stuff set up. They're going to take off on bikes. Halfway through the run, they're going to stop at the memorial for Sergeant. They're going to spend some time there. Again, his son is in their motorcycle group. And then they'll finish up the run. And then, there's all kinds of good stuff that day. But, I was honored. I was blessed to be introduced to these people and actually get to go down and spend an early Saturday morning with them. If you're on Facebook, I have a page called Warrior Rounds Trailer. There's some pictures of me and those guys. And it doesn't matter where I take my trailer. Folks always come out. They want to take pictures beside the trailer or, their whole organization out beside the trailer. And that's great. That's why I do it. It's just, it's an honor. It really is. They're just really, really good people. They really are.
Yeah, we'd like to hear from them sometime. But yeah, brother, we're going to let you go. But thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon. I'm sure we'll be on multiple podcasts in the future together. So,
Yep. And that David Wallace right there, that's your man. And Angie, they can get you all the information that you need. I can get you in touch with them. Whatever you guys want to do. That's
yeah,
perfect.
we took a picture of his phone number. I took your phone number out of the comments, sir, but we do have your phone number.
Yeah, there she is, Miss Sutton there. So, but they're really, really great people. First responders, veterans. They got several different chapters. Good folks, man. They really are.
Excellent. All right, brother. We're going to get you out of here, but we love you. Appreciate you very much.
You guys rock, man. I appreciate you letting me come on. Love you.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys.
Man.
Yeah.
I love what all of the different groups that we're associated with the podcast, with the Got Your Six, with the stories that we hear. I just love hearing the stories. I love hearing success stories. And he may not have quantified it as success, but like he said, everybody does it different. What I see is someone that has a platform with a fucking phenomenal story that can inspire others to go on. I mean, why would the belt break at that exact moment when he probably wore it so many times? There's so much divine intervention going on here, and I love his story. I love that he's still here. So thanks that you're still here, James, man. I love hearing about it.
Absolutely. So
all right, so there's one thing I do want to go over. Since Al wasn't on at the beginning, we were all four of us were at the Texas Veterans. That's not the one I want to do. Sorry. Oh, let's just do the sports real quick.
What is all that? What's all that DJ Royalty stuff up there, man? I like that slide. What is that?
So in the sports picking, yeah, this means that you won. You backed into it. You didn't know what you were even picking.
See,
but you did win our men's bracket.
I knew at the time that I knew not to know. So then I ended up knowing. Sometimes when you don't know, you know because you didn't know, and now you knew, and that's what happened.
Man, I'm already confused.
Yeah,
no, it's okay. Don't be confused. Just understand that because I didn't know, the best decision was for me to do was to say I didn't know, so I had to let it go for what I thought I would know. And then now we know that DJ Royalty won the tournament, and I didn't know nothing about the damn tournament.
Yeah,
which is great.
That's called
you're
luck.
what we call a chalk pick. That's the person that picks the higher seed in every one, or lets the game pick it for you. You're a chalk pick. But that's good. I mean, you won. A win's a win.
Yeah, W's a W, and I'll take it.
Nice.
And then I just wanted to hit a little bit about this women's Final Four. South Carolina ended up winning, and the videos that have popped into my algorithm from Dawn Staley. I don't know if they heard me say that I had a crush on her when she was playing in college in the NBA, but man, her stuff is all over, and it's inspiring as hell. I made a video. We'll probably play it in the next couple of weeks, but we had a powerful show here today, so I wanted to get through some of this. But this is what I want to talk about. Go ahead, bro.
What she said, though, I saw the coach, and what she said resonated with me really good. She said, the year, was it last year they lost, right? Mm-hmm. She came into the next year and showed videos and stuff about how they played the previous year and all that stuff. She said she didn't do none of that. She let it go. She never played a video she never played any of the old games. She just let whatever happened last year happen. And she just moved forward, and she was victorious. So that's another success story. You can resonate that with your life, man. There's no sense in looking back at what happened yesterday.
Yeah, who cares? That shit already happened.
It already happened. It's done. So you just got to keep on pushing forward, man, to success. And great things can only happen if you allow great things to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you won. I got you.
All right, yeah. Don't worry about the fact that I didn't know what the hell I was picking. Just understand the fact that
that is the definition right there of awesomeness. Like that's how our day started.
Yeah.
Got to see our boy Bubba Wesley. Al Hero got to meet
Al Hero, who is that? You go ahead and tell, man. That's your man. Go ahead, Al. You've been talking about it. You've been talking about it since.
Hey, man, I'm a huge fan, right? Cody Jinks, like that dude is the man. In fact, one of the veterans told me and Scott a story about how his music kind of touches on what James was talking about. Now his music pretty much saved his life, where he was pretty much ready to end it all, and he heard one of Cody's songs come on, and it changed his perspective. So I'm a huge fan. I was a fanboy. Look at me all smiling and cheesing and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, huge fan of Cody Jinks. So.
Looked like you had your hand. Where'd you have your hand, bro? It's kind of low back there.
It was. I was trying to get a little P Diddy feel.
That's why he's leaning back so much. He's like, holy cow, what's going on?
He's like, hey, I think this guy's got.
He's like,
and then Matt, you had an encounter there at home plate. Who are you talking to there?
That was the pitcher for the
Whaley,
the
right?
celebrities. Yeah, Mr. Whaley, former major league pitcher. What was really funny is when I walked up to him and I saw him, he pitched a good game. The game ended 1-1. I've never seen a softball game in a tie, but there's time constraints when you're at a minor league baseball park. But the hat he was wearing has a cock on it, and the dude was wearing the hat, and I'm like, man, you picked the right hat to pitch today. And he was like, huh? I'm like, your hat. He goes, oh, yeah, that's my hat. I love my. Everybody wants to take a picture of me wearing the hat. And I was like, well, you got the right one because you treated him right today. And he was just laughing. But they were all nice, man. This is one of those things where you're looking at these pictures. It's that event where they put everybody in the same place for a meet and greet, and it was a true, sure meet and greet. You got to meet everybody and talk to them, and nobody was standoffish. Nobody appeared that they were there because they had to be. Everybody you talked to was there because they wanted to be, which was very, very, heartwarming to see. It was a good time. It was far better than last year, and I can't wait to see where it goes next year. So.
Yeah, I got to sit on Josh Redding's lap, which was pretty awesome.
Oh, did you?
Oh, there it is. I sat on Josh Redding's lap.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And it was hot out there that day, so my butt crack was definitely moist. I had moist ass, so feel bad for you, Josh. Hope you watch those.
That's funny.
That was a good time, man.
Yeah, it was a good time.
So Al, I know you were a little under the weather, bro. I didn't know exactly what. I don't know if you want to elaborate any at all.
Yeah, I lost a really close friend and mentor about 2 days ago. I was blessed to be able to go to Georgia about a month ago and spend some time with him, so it was pretty cool. He's one of the main reasons I joined the military, right? I grew up with his little brother. Hell, I still got his little brother's name tattooed on my arm from high school. So I grew up with him. He was a little bit older than us, but he was kind of like the older brother everybody kind of wanted to be like.
Yeah.
So it was kind of unexpected. It was very unexpected. I just spoke with him on Friday. We were, bullshitting. I mean, he had some medical issues. He was doing dialysis a couple times a week. He's the reason I joined the Navy, and then I got him back. It's funny because years later, I got him when I was in recruiting. I helped him get back in the Navy on active duty, and then he ended up getting a medical retirement because he was diagnosed with diabetes, which eventually took his leg, shut his kidneys down, and he was had some eyesight problems, but the dude was just positive as hell still. He was a lot of hope. As far as everybody was getting tested to try to see if we were going to be a match for a kidney. But it was very, very, very unexpected. It's crazy. I mean, it is. And like I told Ty, it sucks because to lose people way before their time sucks. I mean, we've lost enough brothers and sisters to suicide throughout the years. We've lost too many people to combat, and just to lose another one, it fucking sucks. It absolutely does. And it's funny because his little brother texted me yesterday morning about 8:30 in the morning, and I didn't see it all.
No,
Seen it.
Okay.
When I got off work last night, I seen it. So like I said, it was very, very unexpected. I talked to his brother as best I could because it's one of those things where like what do you say to his older brother? I'm hurting and crushed, and I know he was, so I didn't want to take that from him, right? I want him to be able to mourn that way he wants to mourn, but yeah, it's been tough. So tomorrow is going to be tough, right? So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know there's reasons why things happen, man. But I know that because of your love for him and the admiration and, just for his memory and everything else, it was important for you to even get that part out, right? Because that's a way for you to express verbally how you feel, right? And that's what we're here for. I know that it's kind of tough trying to talk to your brothers and us on the podcast individually and keep going over the thing over and over. But we all knew that you were going through something, man. We just wanted you to know that, we were here with you. Our heart was with you. And I know that you're strong enough to get through all of this stuff, man. And his family needs you to be strong. Your family needs you to be strong. And, just being able to speak some life about his life is a good thing, man. You know what I mean? From where we are.
He's got 2 kids, so he's leaving behind 2 kids. His brother, sister, his mom. So yeah, it's very, he's not that old, and he passed of a heart attack. So yeah, last night was rough. I didn't handle it very well. I cracked open a bottle, and there's probably this much left in it. Right, so I did not handle myself the way I would like to have. I was, had to get him to go to work this morning. Was not feeling myself. Not feeling chipper this morning at all. At 8:00 in the morning, getting on a call. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough, right? Because I've known this guy since high school. Like I wanted to be just like him. It was one of those things where it was crazy. Like I said, I just talked with him. I was trying to get him to come down and hang out for a weekend. We shared ideas and bullshit on pretty much weekly, and it was just very, very sudden and very unexpected. So
yeah, life is one of those things, man, where 1 minute you're up, next minute you're down. You kind of wish we would all could be here forever, right? But we know that that's not going to happen. There's not going to be a person who's going to ever be here forever. I guess our ever is when it ends. So
well, it goes back to life is so short, Scott.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, it's why you got to love each other while you're here, right? Love each other while you're here. Take nothing for granted. And those
Sorry, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, you really don't realize how absolutely you're not promised and not guaranteed another day on this earth at all. So I really wholeheartedly believe you should make the most of it and do the most with the time that you have. And if you're living selfishly and you're just doing it for yourself, then you're missing the boat, because there's people who need help. And if you can change a life or you can help somebody, that's really what it's about. Because he passed away from a heart attack pretty much in his sleep, right? You're not guaranteed to wake up tomorrow. We all hope we do, and we all want to. We all assume we're going to, but you never know, right? Tomorrow I'm going to go hang out with some veterans who know they're dying. Like this is it for them, right? They're in hospice. They don't have much time left to live. Like they're at the end of their chapter. Like their story is written. This is it, right? So you're not guaranteed tomorrow, and don't take it for granted, right? I mean, hug somebody, tell somebody you love them. Even, mend a bridge, right? Don't live with anger and regret. Like if there's somebody in your life where you're like, I fuck this motherfucker, I'm tired, reach out and say you're sorry, right? Mend that bridge, because you really will feel like shit if tomorrow they're not there and you had a moment where you could have changed something or you could have said something. Hug your family, hug your wives, hug your kids. Make sure you tell somebody that you love them, because if you don't, that could very well and easily be the last time, that you had the opportunity, right? So don't miss an opportunity.
Well, Al, what was his name again?
Jeff Scarborough.
Jeff. All right, so this is what we're gonna do for Jeff on Triple Threat Vet Podcast. We're gonna give a 5-second moments of silence for Jeff and his family. Starting now. Amen. Rest in peace, brother.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. And with that, this is the Triple Threat Vet Podcast. I'm your man, DJ Royal T. We are here with my man Al Hero, my man Matt J, and my man Ty Cobb. We all know tomorrow's not promised. Love today, love hard. Appreciate what you have. In the words of my man, our hero, don't sweat the petty stuff. Pet the sweaty stuff. Get up, get out. Do your best. Show love. Be respectful. Be kind. All those things are free. But we love you. Thank you for being here. My man Al, thank you for sharing. To my man James, I appreciate your story. And we'll see you guys next week. I'm going to bring my guys back in and let them have some last words if they have any. Matt Johnson, what you got for us tonight, brother?
None, man. We're good.
Yeah, man. Ty Cobb, if you want to wax poetic one good time.
No guest weekend. Next weekend, I think Berto may come on the show. I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in Costa Rica, so I know it's going to be a fun show. Thanks so much for James, the story. Love hearing it, and I look forward to the work that you are going to do in the future that we're going to witness. Thanks, brother.
And to my man Al Hero, give you the floor, my brother.
I'm good, bro. I got nothing. I'm pretty excited about getting with Kevin. We've been talking with Ty a little bit about it, about getting into a, branching off and doing a podcast for his podcast, but I'm going to be a co-host and help him on his podcast. So pretty excited about that. We're still settling on a name. I bounced one off him. I didn't realize the Army doesn't know what Liberty is. So I was like, we should be called the Liberty Risk Podcast. And I had to explain what Liberty Risk was. So, but yeah, we're still just working on that. But yeah, pretty excited about helping give another veteran a platform to help and to be able to reach out and do what we do as well. And then obviously we'll support him and help him on his podcast journey. So through 787 production. So I'm pretty excited about that. But I don't have anything crazy. Just love everyone. Hope everybody has a good rest of the week and a good weekend. See you soon.
All right. My man. All right. Like I always say, may your next day be your best day. Somebody's looking for you to be there tomorrow. Get your ass up and be there. We'll see you next week. I'm DJ Royal T. This is the Triple Threat Vet Podcast. We'll see you guys next week.